So I keep filming YouTube videos and then not finishing them. So I've decided that this one is going to be one that I finish. And if you see it, I won. I succeeded. This week I am cat sitting for a friend, for my roommate actually, my roommate's parents. So I've decided to sort of turn this into a little writing retreat of sorts. I'm going to do one sort of little thing each day and try and write 2,000 words a day because I kind of have self-imposed a deadline on myself. I need to get this sort of chunk of my manuscript finished. The plan for this week is on Monday, I'm meeting a friend for lunch. Her name is Iris. She's lovely. You should definitely go follow her on social media. On Tuesday, I'm going to go see the new Supergirl movie with my roommate, Gauthier, who you should also follow on social media if you're into true crime stuff. On Wednesday, I've decided I'm going to try and write in all of the sort of different places in this apartment that's relatively new to me, so I can sort of get a feel for which location works best. And if I write for 30 minutes in each of the locations I've sort of picked out, then I'll write for like 3 hours in the day. We'll see how that goes. On Thursday, I'm gonna go outside and find a little restaurant or a cafe to write at. I'm gonna tell myself that I'm only gonna buy an espresso and it should probably be fine and they won't kick me out, but I'll probably buy something else because I just can't. I need to have a little like drink with me at all times when I'm writing outside. I don't know. So a little additional challenge is buy as little as possible when you go outside. And that challenge extends to Friday as well. The Maison de Balzac it's this really beautiful garden and they have a little cafe and you don't even need to like pay to go into the garden. You do need to pay if you want to drink something at the cafe. They have a really sort of nice ambiance. You can see the Eiffel Tower from there. So I'm thinking of doing some writing there as well. On Saturday, my roommate Gauthier and I are going to go on a little day trip to Versailles because I've never been and he thinks that's crazy. And sort of as a recovery from the day trip on Sunday, I'm going to stay in bed, be as lazy as possible, and just write from there. So that's the plan. We'll see if I actually do it. Today, I was supposed to meet up with my friend Iris. I did meet up with her, but to get to the place that we were supposed to meet up, a place called Blondie Cafe, it was actually really nice. Pulled up the address online. I typed into my phone Blondie Coffee Shop because that's where we were supposed to be meeting. And it was like, okay, take the bus and then take another bus. So I get on the first bus, no problem. I just missed the second bus. And so I sit there in the sun at this makeshift bus stop. It's one of those ones where they don't have like a cover or anything. It's just kind of like a metal stick with the number of the bus on it. So I wait there for like 20 minutes. At this point, I'm late. I'm late to go meet Iris. The bus comes at some point. I get on the second bus and I get to where we're supposed to meet, or so I think. I show up and I go inside this place and she's not in there. And so I text her like, hey, where the fuck are you? She's like, I'm not there, I'm at the other one. She sent me the address, but because I decided to just put the name of the shop into my phone, it spit out the wrong one. Apparently it's a chain that's not super common in Paris, so I had no fucking idea. I wait for 12 minutes and get back on the second bus going the other direction, and the place where Iris had sent me to meet, the place we were meeting, was where I waited for the second bus after I got off the first bus. So I essentially took a little 30-minute detour for no reason. I was on the bus for an hour just to get there. Absolutely horrible. But once I got there, the vibes were good. The ambiance of the place is actually really nice. And of course, I always love hanging out with Iris. But, you know, because of the whole being late thing, they didn't have any lunch food left, so there was a gun to my head. I had to get a cookie and a slice of cake to go with my iced latte because I wouldn't have survived any other way. So during the 3 hours, I wrote about 1,800 words, which is pretty good. And then I had to go meet some other friends. Then I took a detour to a nearby park. It was really beautiful, but then I decided it was way too fucking hot. So I decided to go home, and I took only one bus back this time. Gonna write some more now that I'm back, but otherwise, successful day. This is such a horrible angle. A little bit better. I was supposed to do a little bit of writing last night before I went to bed, but I didn't want to, so I didn't. I slept in. A bit of writing time has sort of slipped away already. I'm a little bit nervous. I have sort of hit a bit of a roadblock because I need to figure out sort of the specifics of one of the locations that a couple of things are going to take place in my novel. It's essentially I need to make a speakeasy. I need to decide how the speakeasy works, like where it is, what it, like the building used to be that would facilitate it being a speakeasy. And I have a lot of like vague ideas, but I haven't actually like decided on anything, and that will definitely make writing a lot easier. So hopefully I figured that out today. How did you feel about it?
Not good.
So, I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't actually do anything on Wednesday. I don't know if it was the fact that the Supergirl movie was just so not good that it drained me of all of my creative anything, but I basically slept the whole day. My chronic fatigue flared up. Cursed you, Supergirl, you know. So I didn't actually get much done on Wednesday. I got a grand total of 0 words written for my draft, but today, Thursday, I made up for it. So today was just like go to cafe sort of a day. Previously in this video I talked about how I needed to figure out something about a speakeasy. I figured out the speakeasy, and then I wrote myself into another problem where now I need to write a third heist in this novel. I'm not good at writing heists. I don't know why. Like, the writing gods have been like, you write 3 heists. Whoa. Sorry, my camera's on my computer is inverted, so I don't know where my finger is. Yeah, so I didn't actually write much of the heist today because I still have to like figure out all of the working parts, which is why I find heists so difficult to write, because you have like, what are we heisting? Why do we need it? Who has the thing that we're heisting, and what are they up to? And that's sort of, there's so many different variables that I have to figure out. So I just kind of skipped past that part, and I wrote something else. I have like a list of scenes that I need to get through, so I just was like, you know what? The heist stuff, I'm gonna ignore that. Even though I ignored the heist stuff, I did manage to get almost 3,000 words done today, so happy with that after the big 0 on Wednesday. Man, Supergirl was just not good. And I'm not even a misogynist. The script just wasn't good. And the score wasn't good either. And sometimes it was just like green screen, like aggressively at you. I'm not gonna do spoilers, but Jason Momoa was there. Don't know what he was up to. The character arc of the young girl, Ruthie, who is with Supergirl, was non-existent. There was no character arc for her, and so it felt like they were kind of trying to do some sort of Last of Us small child with disgruntled adult type of thing, but it just didn't work at all. There was no like character development. It was just wasn't a great movie. People that they hired to do the script, I'll double check this, but the first person like writes mostly for TV. The like thing that I recognized from them was The Vampire Diaries. The other person was the screenwriter for Fan Four Stick. So I don't know why they hired those people. Literally anyone else, please. Not a great writing team. Whoever did the score, also bad. It's not hard to bolster a scene with the music, but because the music wasn't good, because the scenes like themselves weren't good, not a good movie. Since on Wednesday I didn't do anything when I was supposed to do my writing sprints, I've sort of shifted around my weekly schedule. Hold on, I have a note. Originally, I was planning on going to the Maison de Balzac tomorrow on Friday, but I'm going to do writing sprints then instead. And then Saturday, I'm going to go to the Balzac place in the morning. And instead of going to have like a rest day on Sunday we're going to Versailles. Gauthier and I are going to Versailles. So just a little shimmy around of stuff. All the stuff's still happening. You're still watching a video. It's fine. Forgive me, internet, for I have sinned. I didn't actually do the writing sprints that I talked about doing. I don't know what sort of the deal is. I think it's probably because I'm in more of a research-oriented part. I haven't written anything. I'm making dinner, by the way. Today, I did go to the Maison de Balzac, but I just kind of read a little bit. I feel like I need to be in my own apartment to do some research. I think I'm probably going to read some heist books. I've sort of compiled a list. I'm also going to watch some heist movies. For all the sort of like interest I have in cinema, I haven't watched a lot of the sort of quote-unquote classics. So I'm going to do that. And I also think that I sort of have a bit of an aversion to being on camera. I'm not necessarily sure why. When I was younger, I did sort of acting for the screen and things like that. That was also pre-transition. So I was very self-conscious about how I appeared on camera, how I sounded on camera. I've got a little bit of that going on. But I also have chronic fatigue. People will have their opinions about whether or not that's a real thing, stuff like that. If you want me to go on the whole, like, year of medical bullshit I had to do before someone was like, yeah, we kind of don't know what's wrong with you, you can ask, but I don't think I'm gonna have the energy, because I'm tired all the time to do that. But for some reason, it's kind of an accumulation of things of, like, I don't make YouTube videos very often. I used to. I've always kind of sort of wanted to, but I never really got into it because pre-transition I was a lot more self-conscious on camera. The fatigue thing hasn't sort of helped. And also for some reason I kind of feel like when I'm talking to a camera, I exude the same, like I spend the same amount of energy that I spend in like a social situation. Like it feels very much like a performance, which it is, obviously. I know that here, right now, me filming, I'm speaking to my iPhone propped up on a toaster and a cutting board, which is honestly psychopath behavior. But there is sort of like the voice and you have to think of what you're gonna say a little bit beforehand and all of that. That's sort of just, it's exhausting. Like, social situations are exhausting. To me, at least. I know a lot of people are privileged enough to not have that as a problem, but it's a problem that I do have. So being on camera is hard, which paired with the sort of research phase that my project is in and the 3 years I've been working on it, the writing sprints don't get done. And I don't think they're going to get done. Maybe in some other universe that'll happen. But also today's the 11th and I'm leaving on the 15th. So I'm not in this apartment very much longer. So maybe I'll do something similar where I actually live and not in this apartment that doesn't belong to me. The Versailles thing is going to be exhausting on its own because there's a lot of physical wandering around. It's going to be 5 billion degrees out, so I'm probably not going to be in the most chipper mood like after that, during that, even though it's a good experience to have and I'm looking forward to doing it. I'm not going to be like sunshines and rainbows doing the whole like trekking around in the middle of the fuck-ass sun. So I think I'll probably put some good music on. You'll have a montage, it'll be fine. But I think in the future, if I do make more videos, which I hope I do, because I think editing is fun. I think the idea of like coming up with stuff and documenting my progress is really interesting. I'm not sure a whole week is very plausible for me. I think maybe 3 days of break and then another 3 days might be a little bit more manageable. We'll see. I guess it's kind of a learning curve. So I guess I have to make more videos to figure out what works for me. Talking about New Year's resolutions in July, I did have a New Year's resolution of posting 6 videos this year. So I'm gonna try and do that. I'm gonna see if I learn anything. And, you know, maybe I post the 6 videos, maybe I don't. It's not the end of the world. I'm doing this for fun, ultimately. And, yeah. Enjoy a little montage of Versailles. Oh, big shake. If I sound a little silly, it's because I'm sick, got my allergies acting up, because I sort of procrastinated on buying the tickets to go to Versailles, because honestly I didn't even know that we needed some. We didn't go to the Versailles Gardens, the kind of ones that you think about, the sort of flat, in the sun gardens. We went to the Trianon, which is a section of sort of vacation spot for the queen of the time, where she sort of had built a little fake peasant town when she wanted to roleplay being out in the countryside and pretend like she was poor and invite friends and the sort of frolic in the fake peasant town that she had built. So that's what we saw, and honestly I think I enjoyed it probably more than I would have enjoyed seeing the typical French-style Versailles gardens. I really enjoyed seeing the animals, which is kind of silly to say, like, you're in Versailles and you liked seeing the farm animals, but I thought they were really cute, they were sweet, and it was a good time. I got some exercise walking around, 5 billion steps, but yeah, I recommend it if you're in the Versailles area and you want to go see the Petit Trianon. It was really lovely. I thought the buildings were very cute. She had a whole lake built. I mean, if I was a queen, I would also build a lake, because why not? So yeah, I think this is part of the video where I tell you to like and subscribe. So if you're still here, sticking around, why not do that? I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the entire video. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Goodbye!